Hey, how's it going, guys? In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can use Python to load an Excel file to SQL Server. Alright, so here I have this Excel file that has two tabs. In each tab, I have three columns, column A, column B, and sheet source. The only thing that is different is the data content. You can see that there's a slightly difference between the data content. Alright, so here open a blank Python script. Now, to start the Python script, I'm going to import the libraries first. And let me make the font size a little bit bigger. Alright, so to create this Python script to upload an Excel file to a SQL Server, I'll be using SQL Alchemy to create the connection bridge to connect Python and SQL Server. And to install the Python library, you can use the command pip install SQL Alchemy. Now, from the SQL Alchemy module, we need to import the create engine function. And this function is used to create the connection. And from SQL Alchemy.engine module, I'm going to import this URL class, which is going to construct the connection string. And to connect to SQL Server, I'll be using this pyodbc module. And can install the library using the command pip install pyodbc. Now, in terms of loading the data sets from Excel file, I'll be using pandas module to perform the task. Alright, so let me go into my SQL Server database. Now, let's say I want to load this Excel file into this demo table. Now, currently the table is empty. And I want to load these two tables from sheet 1 and sheet 2 into this demo table. Alright, so here we need to prepare the variables or the connection information to connect to SQL Server. Now, first we need to provide the server name address, followed by the database name, followed by the table name. Then we need to create a connection string. Now, here I'm going to create a f string. So inside this connection string variable, I'm providing the driver, which is going to be SQL Server, followed by the server name, database name, and I'll set the trust connection to yes. Now we need to create the SQL Alchemy engine. And to do that, so here I'm going to use the URL class, the create function. And here I need to specify the database type, and it's going to be Microsoft SQL Server, followed by the module that I'll be using. Now here to establish the database connection, I'm going to provide my connection string to this query parameter. And here we need to insert a dictionary object. We need to set the key as ODBC underscore connect, followed by the connection string. Then we can create the SQL Alchemy engine using the create engine function. And we'll provide the connection URL, followed by the module that we'll be using to connect to the SQL Server database. And I'll name the output as engine. Now, lastly, we need to load the Excel file. And to do that, so here, I'm going to use pandas.readExcel function to load the Excel file first. And to make sure that I load every single worksheet from the Excel file, I'm going to set the sheet name parameter to none. So this is a pretty important step. And I'll name the Excel entity as Excel file. Now, at this point, we just need to iterate each worksheet and insert the table directly to this demo table here. And to perform the task, so when we iterate the Excel file object, here let me do this. I'm going to run this code block from line 1 to line 20. Now, if I print the Excel file object, and you'll notice that the Excel object is going to return as a dictionary. And if I print the keys, from the Excel file object, the keys is going to be the worksheet name. So the first item is going to be sheet 1, and the second item is going to be sheet 2. And if we reference the key, and it should be uppercase S, the output is going to return as a data frame object that contains the table itself. Right, so if I use the type function to print the object type, and here we have pandas.core.frame.dataframe. So that means that when we iterate the Excel file dictionary using the items method, this method is going to return the dictionary's key and the data set itself. Now we know this df data object is going to be a data frame object. So from the df data frame object, we can use the toSQL function, and we'll provide the table name as the destination that we want to insert the data set to, followed by the database engine. And here we can specify if the table exists, what action do we want to take. So here we have three options. We can either use fail to raise an exception, or we can use replace to replace the existing table, or we can use append to add more data to the existing table. And for demonstration purpose, I want to combine these two tables into a single table. So I'm going to set the if exists parameter value to append. And since my Excel file does not contain the index, so I'm going to set the index to false. And that's going to be the entire script to insert the Excel file to a SQL Server database table. Now let me terminate this session. Right, so let me put these two applications side by side. Now if I go ahead and press F5 to run the script. Right, so here we have the message loading worksheet followed by the worksheet name. Inside the operation is complete. Now if I go back to my SQL Server database, if I run the select statement from the demo table, and it's going to return 36 records that I uploaded from the this Excel file. So this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this video, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. And feel free to post your question or your feedback in the comment section below. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.